Hey guys, welcome back to Poseidon, Master of Atlantis. Today we're going to be heading on to the next adventure, which is Life in the Mediterranean, the third of, I think, 6 campaigns, yes. So, the Mediterranean Sea is the final frontier, what people live along its shores and what resources can be found to enrich life on Atlantis. This adventure is average in difficulty with 4 parent and 2 colony episodes. Let's head to the first mission.
And so it is resolved, said Atlan, the High King of Atlantis and head of the Council of Atlantis. We must settle the lands to our east to take better advantage of our trade relationship with the Phoenicians. For the first time in hundreds of years, new Atlantean ground will be broken. As the members of the council cloaked themselves and gathered their belongings in preparation for the ritual bull hunt, they uttered the words of the Symphonia Ithacos by rote. The Phoenicians changed everything in Atlantis. Life here had remained the same since the Mayan colonies were established many years ago. No one minds the status quo too much because everyone's needs are met. That is, they were met until the Phoenicians somehow navigated their ships through the narrow strait that separates the Atlantic Ocean from the Mediterranean Sea and the lands to the east. Everyone here loves the Phoenicians' goods, and the demand for more is high. And so, the council resolved that a new city be founded at Lixus, on the banks of the narrow strait, to facilitate trade with the Phoenicians. And they decided that you should be the one to establish the new city. So, to Lixus you go. The strait there is, as advertised, extremely narrow. It is also guarded by the ferocious Scylla. Scylla was once a beautiful nymph, pursued by our father, Poseidon. When Amphitrite, Poseidon's wife, got wind of the affair, she turned Scylla into the monster that she is today. No wonder she's mad at Poseidon's people. Atlanteans will never be able to navigate the strait until Scylla is gone, and some way is devised to widen the passage.
Yes indeed, and literally the only goals of this first mission is to slay Scylla and fulfill a quest which is basically widen the strait. It is a very simple mission that actually sounds harder than it is. Let's head to the city, pause, and slow time down. Now we start with 8,000, but not a lot of space. There is a lot of trees here, but there's not much space. There's only a small amount of farmland from which we can grow carrots, our only food type, and fleece. So we don't have much. There's a bit of marble here, but the space is tight. So unlike in Autok, I won't be able to do a city centre street idea. I may be able to do it by doing all the housing blocks all here and have them come down the bottom, but it's going to be difficult because it's not much space. Here's the strait. I don't know how ships are supposed to get through there, okay? How on earth if the Phoenicians got through that gap? The only way they could have done it is if they docked there, walked across, took the ship all the way across there, and then dropped it back in the water again, which is very unlikely. There is some farmland just here, but it will be used up mostly when you go into the next mission. Now what else have we got? We've got no, it's just plain ore. Not much space. There's a lot of coastline here, so we will be able to trade quite a bit, and map changes as well. Not much space. Not much at all. I think we can build... Oh no, we can't build any mythological things yet. So we are going to farm. Everyone's going to be fed on basically carrots, and I'm just going to have as many farms as I can shove down this area, and 1 square for the fleece. I will probably have to use fleece over here as well. Scylla will appear here. She's a waterborne monster, so since you can't get to this area at all, you don't have to worry about her. So I don't think because you can't build things here because they won't be connected to the river. So the only bit of trade we have is along this bit of coastline here, so you're protected. So slaying the monster is easy enough. Let's have a look at the world map though. It's a lot different. As you can see, we are here on Lixus with our cities here. This is Atlantis. There's the UK, France, all of Asia and Europe, basically. Well, all of Europe really, and Africa that we can see. So we're trading with Iowa, which is the only Oceanid city which disappears later in the adventure. They sell sculpture, loads of fish, and buy olive oil. I don't think we can produce olive oil. No, the only thing we can get is masonry shot. So the only export is marble. I think there's another export as well. Anyway, Mestoria buys fleece, that's a main export. Gades buys nothing of use, so that's a useless trade route. So Atlantis and Mestonia are our main trade routes. We must sell fleece. 48 to keep our profits high. We've got plenty of carrots, so we don't need to import. I just need to import olive oil from Mystonia. So these are the only two cities we're using. Mystonia and Atlantis. Carthage is there as a useless dot. You may remember from Season 3 there was a city called Carthago. It's exactly the same city. Of course it plays as an enemy here, but Carthage is basically the Phoenicians, and which is Carthago from the thingy. No cities appear up here, but it just looks good seeing all of this area, to be honest. So it's a bit difficult. We've got all of our buildings. We are going to need to put down all of them because we will need stuff. And most unusually for a mission, you get elite housing very quickly. In fact, the very first mission allows you to put down elite housing. There's a reason for that, but we're not going to build tons of it. We're only going to build one block on this plateau up here. This is a nice space for it, in my opinion. Road down here and all that. So I'm going to look around. I'm probably going to do City Centre Street again. I know I said I wouldn't do it, but I think it's actually a good idea. I'll just put all the housing along here and here. And we'll have it all along one street to access all this stuff. I'll have food and fleece down here. We'll sell it as much as we can. We don't have much money. Given that we only have one export, we're going to have to sell a lot of it. No one buys marble, so setting up a marble industry is completely pointless. I might put down one masonry shop and just stockpile marble for a while. Just in case someone asks for it. I don't think anyone will. And I don't think we can cut down trees, so I'll just destroy these trees because they're going to get in the way. Yeah, there's no... So I can just put a road along this bit here. And connect it up and all that. So I can set up all of that there. Right, so we've got a plan. We will need some of this coastline, so I will try to avoid getting too close to this area. We've only got a space between this rock and this bit here to play with. You're going to need a fairly big city, and also you're going to need to put down a hippodrome for summoning Hercules, but it doesn't have to be a big one. Just a single 2x2 loop is more than enough, which is why you've got horse ranches off the bat. Your elite housing can't evolve very high because you don't have a source of bronze, no way to make armor. So only a few trade routes. It's going to be difficult, but I think we can do it. Just have to get lots of stuff down quickly. Alright, so I'll go and plan out some common housing blocks. And I'll come back in once I've done it. So, here's our city. 2 housing blocks here. I did think about trying to maybe do them that way, but then it would be really tight. Because this just juts out in a way. If this was just sort of more flattened, it would be fine. So we've got 2 blocks here. I'm just going to have to spam as many blocks as I can in this space. It's not much space. Things will invariably get moved, I think, because there's not enough space on this map. If I just have a look at it, buildings are very big. So like that would have to go there with a roadblock on that bit to stop them going over there, which is very difficult. Here as well, that I could do that, but it would mean moving the road down and moving all this stuff around. We've got 5 carrot farms. In this space here where there's no farmland is where I could put down carding sheds. And basically, wherever there's no farmland, it's just going to be carding sheds, essentially. But let's unpause the game and speed up time. Now, they come from over... They enter here, and I think they just exit somewhere random. Let me just see. Yeah, they exit over here. Sorry. Makes no sense that they're coming from that side, which is over here, when they should really be coming in from the left, but never mind. So we've used up about 3,000 drachma. And we haven't got any industry set up, so let's just speed up time. I think there's space to hold all the workers. Where's the... Oh, sorry. I just missed that. Hang on. Scylla is in our city. We'll soon feel the stings of this horrible monster's bites. Right there. So she just stays in that bit there. And one of the heroes halls you can summon is Odysseus. Now, we are not summoning Odysseus. The reason being, the Odysseus, if I just place it, requires great popularity, easy enough, but he needs 8 elite houses, and there's no space for elite houses. I could put up 4, but that's about it. I'm not building any more than that. So as a result, we are not summoning Odysseus. And you might be thinking, well, you can't win the mission without summoning Odysseus. True, but there's sort of an exploit in the game. Any hero could defeat any enemy monster. It just takes longer time if you're not using the god it's supposed to be. So technically, if I summon Odysseus, he'll defeat her. If I summon Odysseus, then this will go down very easily. But if I summon Hercules, who's the one who needs to widen the strait, he will defeat her just over a longer period of time. So I'm going to do that instead. Summoning Hercules is much easier. So let's just put down gardens. So we've got a open road there, which is not good. So we just let the people come in, get our harvest. So we're not going to get a harvest. Let's just speed it up. Oh, we got a little bit. So everyone's going to get fed on carrots. We might have to resort to importing some fish from Iowa at some point. I don't know how you say it, so I just say it's Iowa because it's easy. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run. I'm going to wait for the harvest to come in. We've got some unemployment, which is fine. I don't mind there being a little bit of unemployment. We're not going to boost the city anyway. So I'll let the next harvest come in next year. So I'll come back in April once we've got a big supply of food, unless something happens.
I have a mighty quest for a mighty mortal.
Yes, you do. I, Atlas, see that for the good of Atlantis, the Mediterranean route must be widened. You must find a person with enough brute strength to move mountains. Only Hercules can accomplish this feat. So to widen the Mediterranean Strait, so to do that, we have to summon Hercules, and that's the only hero I'm summoning. It's just so much easier summoning one hero rather than a bunch of heroes. So he just needs a working hippodrome, excellent citywide observatory access, excellent science access, that's easy enough, just have them all passing, some wine that we can import, and just 1500 people, and we can get that from 2 blocks, so cheaper in the long run. Now you'll notice over here that I have put down, oh shit, these things have moved. They're falling all over the place, which is not good. I may have to move that then, if that's going to be a problem. I don't think I can put this anywhere else. Yeah, I might have to put it maybe on an end tile or something, because that's just running a riot. That's not what I wanted. I think they might get blocked in once I put in more farms along this side. They might be less problematic. So other than that, nothing's really happened other than putting that down. So we now just need to summon Hercules, essentially, which is going to take time, and that's going to require evolving the houses. So I'll come back in once our carrot harvest has come in. What a horrid request. Iowa suffers a famine. I, Skernitha of Iowa, desperately need your help. A famine has struck my city and my people are miserable. I've got 6 months to comply by sending 10 crates of food. I think we're going to run out of time because we're not going to get a harvest. So that's November, December, January, February, March, April. That's pretty much when the request ends. And I also got a plague, which didn't help very much. Where's the building? I can never remember where these buildings are, you know. Let's just put that there. Let's just destroy these trees. And if I had to put a lab there, then hang on, where does that go? 2000. There. Now can I put a lab there? I can, and it doesn't touch, so that's okay. That road is perfectly positioned there to get up to these bits up here, which I'm going to need. Meanwhile, nothing's happened. I have pretty much done as best I can. I've got the infirmaries out at least. Let's just see. No, not that. This. So yeah, if I put that there, I'm going to have to roadblock along this bit. Like so. Just to stop them. Yeah, because I'm going to need a road going along this bit. And I'm going to have a bit of an industry section here as well. We'll probably get stuff as well. Running out of money, and we don't have any way of making money at this point because I'm waiting for fleece to stockpile. It's coming in now, but it's a bit late. Never mind. So again, I'll just come back in once the carrot harvest has arrived. So in comes the carrot harvest. Unfortunately, I got pissed off because I didn't send it in time. I'll try to send it in this this go, because that is a lot of carrots. How much does this hold? 7 loads. That's a lot. So let's just send those goods off. That'll also get used up as well. So we can now put down the common agora right there. We can't evolve the houses very far. We can only provide food, fleece, oil, and wine. So therefore, putting down a set the food late. Mistonia needs fleece, and I don't have much. This has got 400, so that'll stockpile fairly quickly. So even if we wanted to put down a elite house, we can't go very high because there's only 3 levels. It's kind of useless. So we'll just provide the basic level here. Let's just put down a water fountain, and we'll provide basic science access from this. So we won't evolve them any higher because we need the fleece to stockpile. So I'll let the workers come in. How long have we got for that goal from Mistonia? 4 months, so let's just speed up time. Okay, they're going to evolve. 7. Oh, that's the 7 that's required, so let's just dispatch all fleece. So that one carding shed well-timed placement allowed me to meet that request. That Iowa request I don't think you can ever meet. It's not enough time, if I remember. Let's just, can I delete these things? Apparently I cannot delete the sheep once they're placed. Okay, fine. Now I do believe that we will be required to put down sanctuaries later. Yeah. And I'm gonna have like maybe, so let's just do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll have more stuff up this side as well. Because I've got to fill this space with farms as best as I can. As many farms as I can get in, basically. And all of that side has got no stuff on it, so that's fine. Now, I want to just check. Oh, we've got lots of unemployment, that's not too good. So let's just use the opportunity to put down more carding sheds. We'll just put down 4 of them. And to try and get them to stop wandering off, let's just put a carrot farm there. That'll just get them blocked in a bit. Population milestone, that's fine. Mistonia regards us more highly, that's good. Now, I think with that carrot farm being there, they will no longer have be able to go wandering off. Yeah, they're not able to wander because this is blocked in. So these sheep will eventually get killed, I think, after a while. Oh, he reaches all the way down there, so that's a long line he's taken. If things start to collapse at the bottom here, I will put down another one of these. Now, since we're starting to make fleece, we're now able to basically export it when we get a chance. This has been playing for so long that the music's glitched out, as always. Got plenty of unemployment, so we've got a bit more than we need. Yeah, they're sort of just only going on to this bit here. I think the sheep eventually die off. I think. Let's just find out. Oh yeah, so I can wait for them to be sacrificed to the gods, that's fine. And I'll only be putting down a few of them. There's not much space, so I'm going to have to use the space wisely. This is a good place to put down things like sanctuaries later. Now, with our unemployment, we are now going to put down the trade post for Atlantis. It's going to go right here, I think. Let's just delete some of this. Atlantis can go there. And there's space to put a bridge right there, which makes everything much more efficient. Like so. Employees needed, finally. Some stuff might get destroyed, but that's okay. So I'm going to wait for the fleece to build up, and then I'll start selling it in bucket loads to Atlantis. They only sell me wine, so they're kind of useless. I may have to cross the... Can I actually get Mistonia's trade post in there? No, I can't. I was going to say I could, but there's that one tile of rock that's just in the way. Nor there either. So we'll have to put Mistonia's trade post up here somewhere, just temporarily, to sell stuff. So I need to import olive oil from there as well. Actually, can I put that? No, because there's I would have been able to put it there, but there's just stuff in the way, basically. Actually, could I delete that bridge? Yeah, demolish that water crossing a second. That can go there. And so I will put that there, and I'll just have them all close up, essentially. Pardon me. Let's just put the bridge here instead. Put that there. And if we have Mistonia right there, I'm going to delete the trees. There we go. So we'll just do that. There we go. Now the she thingy shouldn't be able to do anything there, so that's fine. So we'll just like the fleece stockpile, get the food in. And since we have space available, we can now put down food vendors in there. We can also provide them with access to fountain and bibliothèque. Now what else does this need? It needs a working hippodrome. I can put that anywhere. I'm going to have to import wheat from somewhere. And the... Oh. Hang on a sec. No one sells wheat. How on earth do we staff the horse ranch then? There's no one selling wheat. I can't get... I mean, no one's... Gary's doesn't. Atlantis is already selling their maximum. Now does Mistonia and Iowa doesn't sell anything either. So where the hell do I get fleece wheat from? I'm going to suspect that there is a request or gift that will provide you with wheat. Because there's otherwise no way to win this mission without the hippodrome. And yeah, so the sheep are going out there, that's fine. These ones will eventually die off and then I'll get rid of them. They'll get boxed in or something. So yeah, there's nothing now to do. I just gotta wait until the fleece stockpiles. I'm not going to provide anyone with fleece yet until I've got an export going. So I'll let the fleece stockpile. Once it's stockpiled, I'll start bringing it over here. I can actually just delete these trees. And put a storehouse here to get fleece. And I think they'll be able to take from there. I think, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll let this stockpile and I'll come back in once we're ready to start selling fleece. Here's the gift I was talking about. It looks like we have to get it from Atlantis, so we must accept that gift. Let's just set this to accept wheat, and we're going to stop anyone from taking it. Stockpile. And I've just checked that there's farms can go pretty much 3 by 3 all the way along here, so that's fine. So there's all that's there. So now I just need to put down a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to put a road here, and whatever that stops at, which is there. There. Gift of wheat. That's going to now be used for the horse ranch. That's all the wheat we've got, which is unfortunate. Actually, we could just do this. Roadblock, roadblock. Like so. And then there'll be more farms down this bit as well. So there we go. So we're bringing the fleece over. I'm going to check at this. Oh, there's a road tile that's not meant to be there. Now I don't know if Mistonia's trade post will work in that tiny space. I don't think it will. If needed, I'll just have to put it up somewhere else, like away up here. Which means I'll probably have to set up another fleece bit over here, because otherwise that won't work. Is there anywhere to put it over here? I can put it there, but what's the point? That's miles away from everything. I mean, there's all these little places to put things down, but they're all blocked by rocks. Makes it very helpful. At this point, I just gotta wait. We're getting the people in. We have got way too much unemployment here, so let's start by putting down other buildings that we don't really need, but can make use of. We can put that there. And at some point we're going to need elite housing anyway, so I'm just going to plan out. So I'll go and plan out some elite housing, and we'll put down everything. Oh, that just took up a load of unemployment, how nice. I'll go and plan out the area for elite housing for later, and then we will start to sell fleece. And I'll come back in once we're ready to come back in, and so I can show you something. Oh, another gift of wheat from Atlantis. It's good that we've got that trade area available. And this I'm emptying because I'm just set it to accept, because it looks as if this will not take from there. Now, there is one thing I want to check, which is to see if this trade post will work. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because there's not enough open space to reach that centre bit. Let's stop selling from there. Right, let's just see. Will I get shipped aground? Oh my word, it actually gets there. Okay. So that does fit. The ship can somehow get up through that tiny little gap and dock. So it's fine. So what I will do is I'll actually set up a bit of a fleece industry over here. I'm not going to connect it to the rest of the city because there's no point. What's this? This is a curator. Yeah.
All by itself. It is the finest ever.
Having this here just counts even though it doesn't pass somehow. Making a bit of money now from selling that stuff, so that's good. So I'm going to set up a bit of a separate fleece industry. This will all get destroyed, so I've got to make sure that when I leave this mission, because we do come back to this mission in the next part, that's not there because it's just going to get wiped out and lose everything in it. So let's just destroy these trees. They're in the way, and they don't do anything for us. So let's just see. There's only certain places to go, which makes this very annoying. And we'll do this. Now, normally I would say never do this, but for this mission, it's sort of necessary. Now we can take that away, and now we can roadblock there. We're not selling, we can just stockpile just as it is. And just sell there. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a separate thing up here. We can delete these trees and put down yet another maintenance thing, because there's only one route through this tiny gap between the hills and here, which is very annoying. But we can put down a yard. Let's just put it right in that 3x3 space there. This is also going to accept fleece. Come on, accept. We don't need to accept there anymore, so let's get rid of that. The trees, as far as I know, you can't use, so we're not going to. So we'll get all that set up. We can just track this road around this way instead. I will have to remove everything anyway, but for now we've got a basic selling industry, it doesn't matter. So I'll start selling fleece again, get the money, because we're running out. We're pretty much out of money at this point. Can the palace fit in there? It could if I moved it the road, so that would mean losing one farm. I could put it there and have the road going. Yeah, I'm gonna... How far down does it go? Just mark it on my monitor. About there, I think. Let's just check. Yeah. That's better. There we go. So it'll fit in there nicely. So at this point, I'm just going to let this run. And I'm going to come back in once we're ready to evolve that. Well, I'll evolve the housing. And I'll come back in once we've made some money and we're getting out of this debt, because we're pretty close to needing funds, and I don't want to request funds from anyone just yet anyway. So I'll let this run and I'll come back in a bit later. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it, because they don't provide you with something if you can't sell it. So Magades requires marble, only 2 months to comply, which means you would have had to have prepared for that industry in the first place. So I don't think we're going to fulfill it. So we are getting unemployment, so at least we can put down a couple of these and such. Let's just put down a warehouse here. I don't think we can sell marble. If we can, then I will export it later, but I don't think it's in this mission. So we have evolved this little bit of housing, bringing up the... I'm going to get fleece up to here, and then I'm going to sell it off in one big bulk, because we're only selling like little tiddly bits, which doesn't actually help in the slightest. So we'll just do that. We're not going to make that request, not any chance. Yeah, fine, the sanctuary's still in shambles, we really couldn't care. So we've got like 16 wheat, which is about as much as we can get, I think, to be honest. Now, we don't have as many sheep roaming around, so that's good. All that stuff's there, etc. And, yeah, we really can't do anything except wait for the marble to stockpile, so we're going to get all that done. We can just, I suppose, give more people access to fleece. We've run out of fleece. I think it's because it's all getting put up here. Let's stop selling fleece for a while. I need it to stockpile. Gift of wheat. There's another gift. That's quite nice. A happiness monument is all very well received, I think. But we don't really have much money. We're skirting the fringes of money here, so we don't have much in the way of making our way. So at this point, I just want to wait. And what's that? 10 marble. How much does he want? 12, I think, yeah. So we'll get these housings evolved, I think, and yeah. Once we've got a stockpile of fleece up here that we can then sell to someone, Atlantis, I will trade. I think actually I might delete this Atlantis trade post because it only buys one item. I need Mistonia anyway, so we're going to delete that, and we're going to put the Mistonia trade post, which is going to send us into debt. There we go. First debt, so we should get some rescue funds from someone very shortly. There's the marble. For Gades, it's going to be horribly late, but never mind. 2,500, that's quite useful. So yeah, I'm going to leave this running, and I'm going to come back in later once we're ready to start making our way towards some of these goals, because we don't have much in the way of that yet. We don't have the money to support importing any wine. We're going to need to import loads of that over a small period of time, which is not too good. I can easily set that up from a trade. We'll probably need to get that from Atlantis. Then yeah, we have to import wine from there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let this run, and I'm going to come back in when we're ready to start making our way to some of these goals, because we've got 2 goals and we're nowhere near them yet. Okay, we're starting to make some money now that we've got a big stockpile of fleece, and I just realised that all of the housing blocks that I put over here will not be anywhere near this, so I will have a granary there. In fact, this granary will be deleted and I'll put it there, and then provide all the necessary access. I'm going to have a road going around the back here though to get to this landmass, because up here I'm going to put a sanctuary, because we'll need one up there eventually. There's not much space for building sanctuaries on this map for the ones that are required. So yeah, making a ridiculous amount of marble now that we don't need, but never mind. We can now put down a lab there, and there is an inventors workshop, so that'll provide, I think, this with all access. So we've got citywide access to observatories, which is good. Just need more people. I need to import the wine very gradually, which is going to take time. I'm going to just clear out these trees. There's not many spaces here and there. There's quite little space to get around this area, which is not good. Going to put that there because we're going to have stuff going up and down here. So we'll have things here and all that. A lot of things that need to be imported basically, but we don't have money to sell yet. Let's just put down Gades, Atlantis' one, because we're going to need to sell more fleece at this point. And I think if we have more unemployment, which we do, let's put down 3 of these, which is a waste. We can empty this. I don't mind about these wandering a little bit, so we'll just actually we could, yeah, just let them wander. It doesn't matter. They're going to probably all get wiped out anyway. There. So these guys are going to go the wrong way, away over here, which is not too good. This is going to mess them up quite a bit, but I would rather have them messed up than not make enough. You're going to have 2 yards filled with fleece anyway at some point. So better start on it now. We've got plenty of food. I might actually just take the opportunity to put down 2 extra carrot farms. And yeah, I think yeah, employees needed. So some access. I don't think they've got all access yet. Let's just see. Oh, it doesn't have access to a bibliothèque. That's not too good. I'm going to have to put down just a useless one there just to have this start. I don't think I'll need this again, so as long as this just goes past it, I think it doesn't matter. Let me just check the scholars. Good access. So what's it not got access to? It's got astronomers, scholars, inventors. Oh, it doesn't have access to the curator. Shit. Actually, I may just move that entirely. Let's just delete it. We'll just put a useless bibliothèque up there. And we'll just put the Hercules thing up here. Then it's got access to all the things it needs by just passing it. So, yeah. We just need to let this run, build up our funds. I think this is a good opportunity to start taxing. Because this will get covered by both of them, so it won't collapse. We'll put a tax collector in both. We might boost wage rate, tax rates at some point. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see how much we get, because we are getting 2,000 income, but our expenses pretty much match our income, so we're not making money, which means we don't have any chance of stopping ourselves from going into debt, which is not too good. But we are selling fleece, that's good. It's got excellent access now, so I just need to put down a hippodrome somewhere. It doesn't actually have to do very much. I haven't planned out this area for elite housing at all either, which I will need to do before we finish. But I'm going to let this run, and I'm going to come back in once we've made a lot more money, when we've got maybe about 5,000 strings of cash, I can set up this. And yeah, I'll come back in once we are ready to progress with the mission objectives. In an effort to try and reach some goals, I put down this 2x2 hippodrome that just goes round in a circle. It actually counts, because all that matters to Hercules is that you just have one working. So it doesn't actually matter how long it is, so, you know, it's fine. Now, we just need this wheat to be stockpiled, and then we can have some horses. So as long as this just goes, it's 4 stads long, it doesn't really matter. So there's only 4 horses, so we don't need to worry too much about the amount of wheat that we have. I hope they don't take wheat, because that's going to be a pain. So this just goes right in a circle. That's completely useless, but it doesn't matter to Hercules. We are also importing wine out of Atlantis, just for us a time, because this is going to be getting wine and bringing it over, which is perfectly satisfactory. And when I come back to this mission, I will delete all this hippodrome. We're not going to need it. I don't think Hercules is required again, so we should be fine. And yeah, we're doing fairly well now. Just need the hippodrome to get the stuff. They'll just run around in a circle, which is kind of boring. I just crammed it in there just to put it somewhere. Better put it way out of range for no reason. So at this point I just need to wait for Hercules to be summonable, and yeah, I'll come back in when I'm ready to summon Hercules. Okay, we are making some serious profit now. As you can see, we are now able to summon Hercules because we evolved one of these blocks up to townhouse level. We've got about 8,500, so we have returned on our starting funds. That's what usually I say that we have basically made a profit by the fact that we have gone over our starting funds. So we started with 8,000, we've gone over that, so we have returned on it. We have a lot of fleece being made. We've got quite a lot down here being made, and we're also making some up here. But this is just a mess. It's going to get deleted anyway, so I'm not too bothered. So we're ready to summon Hercules. This single 2x2 circle counts as a working hippodrome for game mechanics. Send for Hercules. I'll empty all of that out, and then we'll get rid of this wine that we're no longer purchasing. Might be useful for something else. I don't mind. I've moved the granary over here. This is just going to slowly empty, then it'll all go over there. And I'll also have a granary up here actually to accept carrots. And we'll just have them going to 2 places, because that's just easier. And making plenty of carrots. Trying to block some of these sheep in, they're just sort of wandering a bit, so try to block them in as best as I can with farms, but it's obviously not easy when they're just getting in the way. Just wait for Hercules to show up.
I am Hercules, and am ready for a challenge. What have you got?
Well, actually, I've got you here to do 2 things. One, you're going to widen the strait, but first of all, the main thing you're going to do is going to constantly attack Scylla, essentially, if you want to. Come on. I know you can. I know if he wants to, he will. So I've just got to get him to do that, so... Actually, can we just put a road out this way, that a roadblock, and get him to go closer to it? Alright, what I'll do is I'll work that out. I'll get Hercules to kill and attack Scylla first before I go and send him off to do the strait. Because otherwise the mission will finish far too quickly, and then you won't see me killing him. So we'll get Scylla dead first, then we will send off Hercules to widen the strait, which will allow us to win the mission. Okay, so as you can see, Scylla is getting damaged by Hercules. He does flee from her. All I have to do is really a random chance. All I've got to see is Hercules go up this road and then he'll attack it. So that's why I've drawn that road out there. It's kind of pointless, but I'm not too bothered. So every time Hercules goes up, he'll pretty much attack this Scylla. So now I'm just going to speed this up. He sits in this place for a while if he's been damaged quite a bit. He never disappears, so every time he comes out, if he goes that way, up that road, he's pretty much going to attack Scylla. Give the wheat, nice. So I could just sit here waiting until he's not supposed to do this, but there's a game mechanic that's it is possible to do it, pretty much. So we'll just speed this up. Except wait. So it's taking damage, actually. This is a very slow method, but I prefer doing this rather than summoning Odysseus. He's got too many requirements that can't be asked fulfilling, to be honest. This is the cheapskate's way of going about doing this mission, is to just use Hercules instead. See? Done. Scylla slain. We didn't even summon Odysseus to do it. So we won the mission because we got rid of Scylla. Heroic figure monument, I'm going to put that up there. As you can see, I planned this out. This space is not wide enough. So there's only a couple of bits that don't have it, so we'll have to rely heavily on these things. Let's just check that fits in there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to have no more than 4 elite houses. It's going to put us down very weakly as a military power, but I'm not too bothered. So we kind of delete this road because it serves no further purpose to me. So we got rid of Scylla in probably the most unconventional manner. We did it by using Hercules instead. Rather do that than do nothing. So that means, yeah, goal. I mean, it does count as finishing the goal. Even if it's not the conventional method, it counts. So now all I have to do is dispatch Hercules off to widen the strait, and I have to empty this out before we do that, because otherwise it will be lost. And yeah, I'll come back in once we have won the mission by widening the strait.
Hercules isn't called the strongest man alive for nothing. With his bare hands, he single-handedly widened the channel between the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. The strait, which will forever be known as the Pillars of Hercules in honor of the hero, is still narrow, but it is now navigable. The crafty Odysseus also solved our Scylla problem, and the strait is safe. Now, all manner of ships can sail between Atlantis and the lands of the Mediterranean. It won't be long now until Phoenician goods flood Atlantean agoras.
Maybe, but see, the game just thinks that I've done this by summoning Odysseus. Of course, the game doesn't know that. I just killed off Scylla. But of course, we didn't summon Odysseus at all. We just summoned Hercules, and he just took care of the problem by perseverance, basically. So that was entering the Mediterranean. We have slayed the Scylla, which was guarding this area, and we've also widened the strait. You won't see the effects of that until we go to the next mission. Thanks for watching this part, the first part of Lixus. We entered the Mediterranean, and in the next part we are going to really ramp up this city and start preparing for colonies. Bye folks, see you in the next part.